Thank you for joining me for today's presentation. I will be speaking on victims' rights. My name is Hildegard Koenig, and I'm the Outreach, Language Access, and Discrimination Coordinator with the Utah Office for Victims of Crime. What we'll be covering on this presentation is the following. First, we'll be speaking on victims' rights. Under the state of Utah and federally, victims of all crimes have the rights, so we'll be speaking more on that. Two, we'll be covering crime victim witness complaints process for complaints against the criminal justice system, like law enforcement, prosecution, courts, correction, and board of pardons. Lastly, three, we will be speaking on discrimination complaints for individuals who have been discriminated by the Victim Service Program in our state. Under the Utah State Constitution Declaration of Rights of Crime Victims are the following: fairness, dignity, and respect. Let's start with fairness, which it is treating victims reasonably and impartially. Then, dignity, treating victims with worthiness, honor, and esteem. Lastly, respect, treating victims with regard and value. This slide is more in detail from the previous one about the Utah Constitution, Article 128, Declaration of Rights of Crime Victims. Number one is to preserve and protect victims' rights to justice and due process. Victims of crime have these rights as defined by law. A, to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, and to be free from harassment and abuse throughout the criminal justice process. B, upon request to be informed of, be present at, and to be heard at the important criminal justice hearings related to the victim. The Utah Victims' Rights main 3 points are the following: dignity, fairness, notice, and participation. Let's start with dignity and fairness, which it is treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, free from harassment. Then we have notice, which it is upon request to be informed, present, and heard at the important hearings. Lastly, we have participation, which it is to submit and have information considered as sentencing. In this slide, you will be able to see Utah Code 7737, Bill of Rights, which states that all criminal justice agencies shall ensure victims have the right to be informed of threats, informed and assisted throughout the process, clear explanation of proceedings, a secure waiting area, restitution and/or reparations, have all property returned, and that will be after the case is ended, right? Also, employer intersection services, speedy trial and disposition, timely notice and proceedings by prosecution, which does not apply to Class B and C. Lastly, to be present and heard at important hearings. Okay, next we will be speak on the rights of victims of all crimes federally. Here are some of the federal rights for crime victims, which are the following: the right to be reasonably protected from the accused, the right to reasonably accurate and timely notice of any public court and parole proceedings which involves the crime of or of any, release of escape of the accused, the right not to be excluded from any such a public court proceedings unless the court, after receiving a clear, convincing evidence, determines that testimony by the victim could be altered if the victim heard other testimony at the proceedings. The right to be reasonably heard at any public proceeding in the district court involving release, plea, sentencing, or any parole proceeding. Okay, we're going to cover our crime victims complaints. So we're moving a little bit away from rights, but this is important. So the Utah legislators established victims' rights committee in each of the 8 judicial districts in Utah, and you will be able to see a map at the end. The purpose of this committee is to address specific complaints and problems within the respective judicial district criminal justice system. For example, law enforcement, prosecution, courts, correction, and board of pardons. The process is the following. First, the complaints must be submitted in writing, and delivered to the Utah Office of Victims of Crime or to the appropriate District Victims' Rights Committee. If the complaint first goes to the District Victims' Rights Committee, the chair will immediately forward a copy to the Office of Victims of Crime. Please be aware that we will have in the upcoming months a new way to file complaints electronically. So we're excited about that. More information is going to come, so please stay tuned. Look at your emails coming from us. Second, our office will acknowledge receipt of the complaint within 5 working days and forward to the complaint to the District Victims' Rights Committee chair. An acknowledgement will be in the form of a letter or an email, whatever the person selected, to the complainant, indicating the date the complaint was referred to the District Victims' Rights Committee chair, um, the title of that email or letter will be receipt of discrimination complaint. Also, each complainant will send a copy of the victim and witnesses have rights brochure, which is more like a book. After the District Victims' Rights Committee will respond to the complainant within 60 days of receipt of the complaint. If a hearing before the committee is needed, it will be held within 90 days. Please be aware that time limits may adjust it for extenuating or situations, circumstances that may happen, or more information that they may need. In case that the District Victims' Rights Committee is unable to resolve the complaint within the time given, a designated subcommittee from the Utah Council on Victims will review the complaint. Also, if the District Victims' Rights Committee is unable to resolve a complaint due to conflict of interest, a designated subcommittee from the Utah Council on Victims will review the complaint. Lastly, if a complaint hearing is needed, then the District Victims' Rights Committee may hold a public hearing, and they will notify the complainant of the date and time and location of this hearing. In this slide, you will be able to see the 8 District Victims' Rights Committee chairs' names and a map of the state, which is broken into the 8 judicial districts. Please be aware that chairs can change, so please make sure that you go to UOVC's website to see the updated chairs information, but you're welcome to always contact us for if you have any questions. Okay, so now let's talk about another way that individuals can file a complaint under the civil rights. Under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 states that no person in the United States shall, under the ground of race, color, or national origin, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subject to discrimination under any program or activity receiving federal financial assistance. If an individual feels that they have been discriminated by a victim service program under the protected class, which is race, color, gender identity, national origin, sexual orientation, age, disability, sex, or religion, then they can fill out a discrimination form. Here are the following procedures when responding to the claims of discrimination. So step 1, individual will contact UOVC, our office, by telephone, in writing, or by email with their complaint. My contact information, you will be able to see it under step 1. So please do share that. Then under step 2, we will need the following information, which is going to be name, address, the best phone number to reach them at, date of birth, a brief description of the alleged discrimination or civil rights violation, including the date, place, and time that this happened, names of any respondents accused in the discrimination, if they know them, or the agency they can place in there too, a brief description of the communication that has already occurred to address the issue, so if they have spoken to anyone or not, and what the result was on that, and any other relevant information, any attachments, any emails, anything like that they want to include in that. Also, please know that we do have a form which we can send to them if they would like, that has all these questions in there to guide them. After receiving the receipt, excuse me, of the complaint, or any other information that they feel that is important, I will contact the individual within 10 business days. Then appears, as I show, excuse me, at step 4, I will mail a letter, or send it via email, however the person indicated that they wanted to be communicated, um, which indicates the actions taken in forwarding the complaint to the Utah Anti-Discrimination Labor Division and notification to the Office for Civil Rights. Here's an image of the form. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you need a copy of this form. It is a little bit bigger than what it shows in there. It has boxes where people can click on the types of the discrimination, which category they feel that they're being discriminated against. So I'm happy to send this if you need a copy. Okay, to end, I would like to remind all about the Utah Victim Resource Connect, which it is a great tool to help on and off-site resources based on the concerns of individuals may have in our state. The Resource Connect is available in different languages too, which is a great for refugee population, underserved communities. Just ensure that individual clicks on the language on the button, which is in the top right, and once I select the language, all the information will be translated. To access the Resource Connect, you can click on this link that it shows in here, or you can go to uovc.concerncenter.com and it will guide you in there. Okay, I know a lot of information was given. But please know that I would like to thank each of you for taking the time to listen to this. Please know my contact information in this slide. And do not hesitate to reach out to me with any questions, any clarifications, anything you may need. Once again, thank you so very much and have a great day.